Everyone is going to be shocked to learn that we seem to have finally figured out why Jay Z and Nicki Minaj are at odds. Although Nicki and JT have never had an effortless relationship, rumors are circulating that JT has teamed up with two of Nicki's biggest rivals, Roc Nation and Jay Z. This might lead to further tension in their relationship. For a while now, Nicki has been vocally accusing Jay Z of trying to harm her, has reportedly aligned herself with Jay Z. Naturally, Nicki feels betrayed and hurt by this, as she had mentored her and seemed to genuinely care for JT. However, why did JT turn her back on Nicki? Is this just another tactic used by Roc Nation to bring Nicki down? Given Nicki's history with JT, it's not entirely surprising that JT might betray her. For example, before they rose to fame, JT and her former close friend Young Miami used to criticize Nicki without cause. "I just don't like Nicki because she acts like she runs things. Please, I want Cardi to completely take over and push that beat to the back." Clearly, they were caught up in the feud and were trying to appeal to Cardi by bashing Nicki, who is her adversary. Young Miami also posted on Facebook once asking, "Am I the only one that hates Minaj?" She also wrote, "Nicki Minaj is so ugly, JT," disparaging Nicki.
Ain't even entry, she been with me, but she got dropped like something. I'm beefing with Nicki, but I ain't know Remy. I got that Remy in my house, and you know I got.
Young Miami had already declared that she would not cooperate with Nicki Minaj, saying that the city females would rather work with Cardi B. She identified herself as a member of Cardi B's team.
Work with Nicki?
I just rather stay away from that question. Like, I don't want to get into that. But I am Team Cardi. City Girls is Team Cardi. Cardi support the City Girls.
I would like to avoid getting into that question, but I am a supporter of Cardi B because the City Girls worked with her on the popular song Twerk, which has received over 250 million views on YouTube. She added that after that, the girls abruptly changed their attitude, expressing their admiration for Nicki Minaj and their desire to collaborate with her in a C episode where they went undercover online. Nicki
collab. We're hoping for it in the future. Seriously. And a lot of people try to make fun of it, you're never gonna get your feature, but you never know what can happen.
Nevertheless, Nicki learned of all of this, and on an episode of Morning Hustle, she said that she was eager to cooperate with the City Girls, but that she didn't want to work with them since they had humiliated her without cause. Found out about their disparaging remarks concerning her.
There's a group that they have over there that keeps mentioning your name because they want to do a song with you. Would you do a record with the City Girls?
A few years ago, I saw a video of them, and I asked someone on their team at that time, I asked someone about them. Like, "Oh my God, I heard da-da-da-da, and I saw this video, and that's cute, Dad." Like, I was thinking about jumping on a record, one of their records that was out at that time. And then social media happened. You know what I'm saying? Social media happened with, when, people will say things about someone, like an artist, whether they tweet it or say it, or whether they get whether it gets pulled out of them in an interview or something like that.
Nonetheless, she eventually made the decision to move on, admitting that they had talked on the phone and that she wanted to put the turmoil behind them. She claimed to have had a wonderful conversation with the girls. Let's go on and create new memories. JT and Miami are young. Hey everyone, Young Miami and JT replied to Nicki's tweet. Miami said things like "queen things," and JT said things like "sad sister. Thank you for your time and your advice. A true queen loves you." After that, JT completely changed his mind about Cardi and backed Nicki. You undoubtedly remember her and Cardi's furious Twitter battle from 2022, which got really hot. Cardi insulted JT by stating, "Go fetch," to which JT responded by calling Cardi a wiener puppy. In response, JT said, "Card, go fetch a real talent while you're at it and come back here to put on a show for these kids." Card tweeted about going fetch. After that, JT seemed to attempt to defuse the situation by explaining to Cardi that maybe their timing wasn't right. But how do I see opportunities? For no apparent reason, you labeled me a lapdog. Makes sense? Well then, back to the DMs. I went Cardi, still in battle mode, and said, "If the shoe fits, that's your fault." You know what? The DMS are becoming more personal. Past this problem, I'll halt you right now. Cardi said,
Actually, I'm done with this. On the timeline, it's becoming, in response to the tweet that we all assumed would be the end of the feud.
really redundant, like a dog treat. We already addressed this in the DMs. Goodbye.
This seemed to anger JT even more as she fired back at Cardi, saying, "Hold on, I'm back with this final response because who's doing anything for dog treats? If anything, I'd throw you a bone to give to that dog."
You were posing, Cardi B said. Hot Stuff debuted higher than any song you've ever dropped or been featured on, while standing by the pool for Fancy Pants. Jail jeans, although everyone has highs and lows, you haven't had one since acting inappropriately with the JT counter. Today was meant to be about the gorilla, but instead you called me a lapdog, no beat. I have a large dog. Woof Woof, by switching her profile photo to JT Nicki, demonstrated her support for the rapper. Nevertheless, other fans believe Nicki was only using JT to give herself an advantage against Cardi. According to the most recent information, JT reportedly deceived Nicki in the worst way imaginable by agreeing to a management agreement with Roc Nation. People who know Nicki well are aware of her ongoing conflict with Roc Nation, which she has accused them of waging on purpose to harm her. For example, Nicki retaliated against Megan Thee Stallion earlier this year, accusing Roc Nation of trying to intimidate her, writing, "I think I can get into the Roc Nation brunch every year, be mad and party. He spilled all your tea, but you're making fun of my family. Get over it and tell your mother I'm sorry." Assisi claimed that Roc Nation was covertly supporting Megan, despite Megan's assertions that she is an independent musician. "She's the little broke independent artist," Nicki added, along with an image of a Roc Nation advertisement for Megan. Nicki didn't stop there, Desiree. "You need to let it go, sweetie. Everyone knows she's a phony, and you can't stop rap from trying to make that happen." Additionally, she tweeted on the following song, "I'll delve into all the people threatening to expose Roc Nation Desire Perez's CEO." Desiree was purportedly dismissed for unclear reasons along with other causes, leaving a trail of pain and bewilderment in her wake. It is said that she would go impoverished attempting to unseat me. Fix it, Jesus. For those who are unaware of the origins of this drama, Nicki Minaj and Roc Nation have been at odds for quite some time. Following their breakup, Nicki was scheduled to debut a documentary about her life, in which she purportedly would disclose that Meek Mill had physically abused her while they were dating. At the time, Meek Mill was being managed by Roc Nation, much like Megan Thee Stallion. Some reports claim that Roc Nation stepped in and pressured Nicki to keep quiet about the circumstances in her documentary. Transies also alleged that someone from Roc Nation told him to keep quiet about his complicated situation with Megan the Horse. This was shortly after the documentary was held. Interestingly, this isn't the first time Roc Nation has been accused of silencing individuals to protect its musicians.
Nation that says, "Yo, we heard you're gonna make a statement about what happened, and it'd be in your best interest if you don't make that statement."
People think that the true source of Nicki's annoyance is Roc Nation's silence, which keeps her from voicing the truth. When Nicki posted a clip from the canceled documentary in which she spoke about being in a negative relationship, this theory gathered momentum.
I remember when my mother would let my father be violent with her. And she always brings up the story as a little girl. I would stand in front of my mother and go like this. And I vowed, like, that's why I'm, like, maybe some people would describe me as abrasive or whatever, because I vowed from that age, no man would ever call me out my name, treat me like that. And then all of a sudden, that was my life.
Meek Mill took the hint and sent Nicki a stop and desist letter, even though she didn't specifically identify anyone. Nicki became enraged when she was stopped talking about their history. She then retaliated, accusing Roc Nation of launching smear operations against her by hiring others to make TikToks or send out derogatory tweets in an effort to damage her reputation.
And the paid for TikToks and the paid for tweets, to the point where people got their little $250 for their tweet to say something bad about Nicki Minaj, and then the next day was like, yeah, anyway, I'm gone, right? I'm listening to Bigfoot. So I don't know why anybody of that, and I'm not talking about any rapper, I'm talking about a company or companies.
Now that JT has supposedly signed with Roc Nation, there is growing concern that Jay Z is using this as another calculated move to weaken Nicki. Fans have noticed that this seems to be part of Jay Z's ongoing trend, suggesting that Nicki's worries may not have been unwarranted. It appears like Roc Nation is searching for a new female singer to compete with Nicki Minaj. A fan made the observation that Jay Z's unceasing attempts to use his money to try to undermine someone he can't overcome are ridiculous. The key issue is Roc Nation's CEO trying to ruin Nicki Minaj's career because she's uncontrollable and cannot be used for financial gain, or is Roc Nation carrying out unsavory tasks for other parties? Because every female rapper they've tried to pit against Nicki has failed, leading Jay Z and Desiree Perez to resort to sabotage. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and then check out our next video.